Hey guys, welcome to this episode of the Go Mango Tokukast. I'm your host, Frozen Stratos. Here with me today we have
the Cinder Blaze
and Makotoa.
Boys, and more specifically Michael, welcome back. We are going to be reviewing...
What?
Well, yeah, no, screw you. We are going to be reviewing Space 47 of Uchuu Sentai Kyuranger. And there are some dissenting opinions here. Well, not entirely. Let's get into it. Michael, you were the most pleased with this episode.
What was I? Alex, what happened? Didn't you enjoy this episode?
No, the reason why you're supposed to be starting us off is because you watched it the most recently, and I kind of need a refresher.
Oh my goodness!
Oh my goodness! We're at the end.
Oh my goodness! Okay, well, what did we get for the start of the episode? I almost thought we were gonna like suddenly get thrown into flashback territory. And
oh my goodness!
That scared me so bad. I was like, please, no, not like this. Not like this. Don't go down like Anohana the movie. Please. So, thankfully, it was very brief, and it was because it started this kind of chain of sort of key groups in the Kyuranger team. What is this, a team?
Squad? What is this, a suicide squad?
What is this, a team? Yeah, key members that kind of had something relatively to do with each other kind of got together and reflected on where they've been and what they are going into, because Lucky gave them kind of an ultimatum that if you're not prepared to potentially risk your life for this, last-ditch effort I have in mind, then you don't have to show up, but show up if you are willing to risk your life, right? And so all these other groups are kind of like deliberating over it, and I mean, I found it funny that like it was Hammy and Garu, which I don't remember them actually having an episode.
That's the thing.
Together.
Yeah,
like
I was about to like
started.
I was about to like say, I don't like fully agree with you because
but like
all the little niche
was,
groups, Hammy and
who else were they going to group with? Because
actually they do, because like they're the leftover.
The odd ones out.
The odd ones out, and also apparently their little correlation was that they both hated Lucky when he first showed up. So
no, but like I love how they went from like weakest to strongest ties.
Okay.
Like they went like loosely connected to I forget who they ended on, but I know that Balance and Naga were toward the end. And that was really good.
Dude, I was happy to see them finally like give a little Sparta Raptor attention.
Yo, I was screaming.
Oh, that was
good.
Nice. Like I was getting emotional this whole episode. That touched my heart. The Balance Naga stuff, even just them.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
Before we even got into the battle, just them talking was like, oh, that's. They were starting to hit the feels, and it was like, okay, who's the director for this episode? Something's going right. This is reminding me of like the good that I've seen in Kyuranger. And then as we get into what the battle's going to be, we obviously go into it blind to what Lucky's plan is, but seemingly it's just, let's just charge in and try to meet up at the end. But it ended up turning into...
Because, like, you've got to know that they're going in with a plan. Like, it feels like they're prepping you for a kick-out.
No, that's the thing. We just don't know what it is.
I do want to touch on, like, that beginning stuff, though. And I feel like my main problem with that portion was summed up very neatly, very concisely, with the very first reaction to it. I'm mad at Lucky. Why does he think we're not going to do this? Like, yeah! And on top of that, if you're not willing to risk your life, my dude, he's gonna blow up the universe.
Right.
You better be able to risk your life if you want to, like, live.
I think that was just them trying to write a situation where everyone could reflect on and re-solidify their, like, resolve or whatever, but yeah, it didn't make sense.
No, I saw right through it. I was
agree.
like, oh, there's a writing problem. We need to either, and I thought, like, Kyuranger usually does well if, like, they have a plot point, they quickly gloss over it. But then Hammy immediately addresses it.
Yeah, and so...
And like I keep saying, just because you addressed it and said it was dumb doesn't make it any less dumb that you did it.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
no.
I was actually really surprised that Hammy was the one that actually said something useful for once. Like, there was some sense coming out of her mouth, and I was like, holy crap, this is the Hammy we were waiting for this entire season. The one that would give lucky shit,
Yeah, I'm glad we finally... Oh, she's dead.
Oh, she's dead, yeah. No, oh, wait, sorry. Oh, Garu's dead. I thought he
actually,
was...
before we get into the whole slew of that, I did enjoy just that portion of them, like that montage of fighting where they are just exhausting themselves.
Yes.
That was neat to see, like, just like, was it 10 people fighting an entire army?
Yeah.
And visibly getting exhausted.
Yeah.
That was neat.
Yeah, it was also kind of lame because we have one of our Rangers who could probably... Actually, all of our Rangers could go into their Megazord form and just mow them down.
Yeah, that's a good point, because they friggin' went and did that anyway. Oh, well, you know what? To not necessarily to counter that, I did like how Raptor was the one piloting Orion.
I did too.
That made me happy.
I really did too. And like Sparta was...
Though it looked like Sparta was doing more damage.
Sparta was helping out, but like, the situation they set up where like he kind of self-sacrificed for her, and then like, oh my gosh, I when I watched that, I was like, oh, Michael is eating this up. He's not currently watching it with me, but like
I feel
the
it.
Most freaking like Sparta development we've seen the entire series. And
I don't know.
Like,
I feel like that still lines up with his character. It's not necessarily development. It's confirmation that he is the same dude.
It is, but like we didn't get to see enough of it with him and Sparta. With him and
Sparta.
Yeah, Sparta x Sparta.
Yeah,
But
I don't know. Hella funny when we were actually like watching the episode where Garu dies like first, and immediately after it's Sparta.
Oh my god!
This is gonna be Michael's favorite episode for sure.
Holy crud, dude! That killed me. Well, it killed Garu, but.
Like, I mean, Garu dying
if you
actually
watch...
made me laugh because like the way he just went out was just like the stupidest thing he could have done.
That was ridiculous. Like he was out of suit and he just got like shot to death by like 5 different things. It was brutal, and he just self-destructed. Like he was made out of like gasoline. He just blew up.
The way he got thrown away, I was like, oh, they're coming back then. All right.
Well, here's the thing, because he was the first, and because he was the Blue Ranger, and he was kind of like, he was always going to try and take a hit for Lucky, which he did this episode too, that was making me think that it might have actually been legit. And then once, Spada got hit, I panicked right when he got hit, but then when, Raptor finds him on the planet, and he's pretty much okay, and then he freaking gets up and starts fighting, I'm like, okay, wait a minute. What's going on? But even then, just kind of the dramatic scenes of them just having this desperate struggle, and then just they blew up too, both of them. I have a small gripe with that scene, because was it Raptor's whole arc was her being able to fight for herself and her being able to fend for herself and fighting as equals alongside them. And I don't know, it kind of felt a little weird that Spada was still like, no, I'm still going to try to protect. It's in line with his character. I understand. But I'm a Washi Pink fan, so I kind of wanted her to like stand on her own 2 feet and maybe defend Spada for once, for all the times that he's done that. Like she was going to, and then it was just, it would have been funny if they like, both stepped in front of each other like multiple times, like, no, I'll defend. Oh no,
but then it would have been too funny for them to have a death scene.
Oh yeah, I guess that wouldn't. But
yeah, and like one thing that also disappointed me with like not just that scene, but the one right before it, it kind of reduced like their characters almost to just that ship. you know? Like, even when Spada was, like, talking to Raptor, it didn't feel like I got any development out of Spada himself. It was just him, like, servicing the ship. And, like, Raptor didn't really do anything, you know.
She did. No, she was... It wasn't necessarily development, but it was a good show of her character. Like, she was still reeling about Show. And that was one of my favorite through lines this episode.
Oh, yeah, that was when they were still in the... Gosh, that was good. Like, I don't... You know, it sucks because we didn't get enough of development with them, but they're still, like you're saying, Corey, they're still true to their character, and we really liked their character, like what they stood for, what they were, so it felt really good seeing it, as much as we would have wanted to see more sooner than the finale.
You know, if I were able to make a minor tweak to this episode, like, now that I think about it more, it would be that Raptor stepped in the way of, like, a very dangerous blast and saved Spada, and then she died. Then we could have gotten that, you know, arc, you know, maybe finished and complete, and then you get a moment with Spada who gives a blood-curdling cry, mows down a bunch of guys, and then dies in a blaze of glory. That would have been neat.
That would have been really great, and it would have been befitting of Spada, because he loves his blood-curdling screams.
Exactly. Like, I feel like he's the only one with the chops to... Well, no, Orange has got it, but...
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Oh, yeah, what was that?
When they just start singing.
When he starts singing.
Oh my goodness!
Oh my gosh. And then they try to sing along and they can't because...
They can't. Champ is the worst, and it was my favorite.
It was great because, like, you know, the voice actor has to do a certain, like, thing to get his voice to sound that way in the first place. So it's not easy for him. And then to try and sing in that voice. Oh, man.
Yeah, Stinger does, like... Stinger stuff, you know.
Yeah,
it's great. He's that guy. He's
yeah.
I don't know, and the way I don't even remember how they all died. Honestly, like.
Oh no! Okay, I want to talk about my favorite one. Honestly, my favorite death scene, and it was between Naga and Balance.
Oh my gosh!
Naga's spark just went away first, and you got this distorted. Mechanical sound coming out of him saying like Naga and shutting down, and then you feel they even set it up toward the beginning of the episode, all the emotions and the things that Naga's learned and gained, oddly mostly negative emotions, but he was like, fear, I'm experiencing fear, and then like it's so weird that the thing he's learning the most human things from is the least human. He is a robot dude.
Yeah, I love the way he put it too. It's like, oh, that's a good thing because now you have stuff that, you know, that's important to you that you could possibly lose. You know? Yeah,
that was really nice. And when Balance died, I couldn't. Man, I
cried.
Okay. I didn't go that far because I felt the reset button coming right after Garuta nixed.
But I
was like, because like with that happening, I feel like, oh man, this is really good. It just feels like this emotion is gonna be wasted because it is gonna be reset. Mm-hmm. Like it felt so set in the cards that I was like, they're coming back.
Yeah, but
this would have been so good.
Just imagine if that happened earlier, like mid-series, Balance dies, like helping Naga learning emotions.
Yeah.
Like, it also, like, weed down our cast a little bit just so we can have, you know, a bit more focus on each one of them.
I mean, yeah, and then, like, what if that served as the catalyst for him being the Dark Q-Tama one, and then they build another Balance? I guess you do a lot of rebuilding robots.
Yeah.
Hey, let's talk about that twist at the end.
The
quote-unquote twist. Yeah.
The
reset button
like that what they did. It's like, oh, we're gonna regather here. I mean, technically, you weren't wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it felt like the show was like the key to a good fake out, at least for me, is to have all the like things seated properly and everyone acting in character to the fake out. when the audience doesn't know, but they acted as if this was their last stand.
I mean,
but
it,
they were
it
really
kind of
just
was
banking on a
like,
different
even
plan.
though like they knew the plan of sacrificing themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and even though they did have the faith in Lucky, like those deaths that they were experiencing were kind of real for that moment. You know, you can't really remember. Oh yeah, this is all according to plan. You know.
Yeah,
and it's
no.
like go
Yeah,
out with
that's fair.
smiles. It was. I mean, unless you're Garu, I mean, he didn't really give a shit. But for everyone else, and Hammy, I mean, she just plopped.
Yeah, she didn't last very long.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was honestly, out of the finales we've gotten, because like Michael, you are experiencing, like you're mostly getting into tokusatsu when we have a drought of actual good ones. Especially with good finales, those are a bit hard to come by now. But I don't know. I'm coming from the frame of reference of like Kyuranger and you know other well told Sentai finales, and this seemed standard to me.
Yeah, and another thing about like the whole twist at the end. Why would the 13 Q-Tamas have the power to be stronger than Don and Hage? They've never shown us that.
So hear me out. Yes.
I knew you were gonna go for that punchline, and like I'm kind of pissed off that you were going for it, because like part of me was hoping for an actual clear argument.
Well, no, I mean,
but
okay,
I'm not
so
lucky, so I guess I don't get that.
If you take a look at Lucky's white suit, the ultimate Q-Tama?
Yeah.
Whatever. What's up? That one. If you take a look at it, on his chest plate, it has all the Kyuranger like constellation orbs on it.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that kind of, and same with the changer itself. So I guess that kind of restored it. I don't know, like that part when it restored itself, the Orion thing, the miracle form. When it restored itself, I was like, all right, fine. It is a miracle form. It's technically
What's
in the
up?
name. Yeah. That was another good part of the episode. But yeah, I don't know. The fake out, I don't know that it necessarily felt earned still, because like there were a lot of characters that got shafted, and like I do enjoy feeling the emotion going with them.
Hey,
but
we're talking
also,
about this episode, not the entire series.
No, yeah, but then got off track. When you tried to do this whole vignette of their arcs and stuff, you just realize, oh wait, we didn't really finish anything with these guys yet. Like
I think we did with some, but it wasn't as satisfying as we wanted it to be.
Yeah, and it's kind of telling that you couldn't necessarily have them off alone by themselves. They had their own little subgroups. So like each character wasn't necessarily strong enough on their own. They had to group them up, and also because of time, obviously. But like I guess it is a Sentai and you act as a team, but it would have been nice to have that individuality and not relying on the support of, oh, I recognize that group and I identify with that group's struggle. It helps in compartmentalizing those aspects, but I feel like it shows how weak the individuals are.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like this, you went on for a while, so I began to lose what the point you were trying to make.
Well, okay.
Well,
so
we're also like running a little late, so I was like,
we are, but
yeah,
it's
whatever.
towards the
This is
end.
the end, bro. This is supposed to be the big finish.
We're allowed.
So
I'm just saying, like, they grouped them up, and they weren't able to like split them. One, because of time, and two, because each individual character isn't established or set up enough to have their own, like story.
Stinger, the episode.
Oh, well, I mean, even then, that was with Champ.
Yeah, but like I think that's kind of, it's fine to me that they have characters that they kind of bounce back and forth with. Like I don't think we would have liked Naga or Balance as much if they didn't have their little team going on, the duality between them.
The BN
thieves.
Yeah, so
Well, like, I mean,
I liked it.
think of it this way, because, like, well, what is Balance's character outside of being the positive foil to Naga's, like, sort of non-emotional reactions to everything, you know? Like, they don't necessarily stand on their own, and I feel like that was more of a function of how they were as characters, not necessarily, like, there's still a way to do that to give them individualized depth. But they just didn't, because it was easier not to.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
Anyway, there's plenty to talk about, and we will be talking about it more next week when we reach the finale of Kyuranger. Guys, if you like this episode, hit that like button and subscribe if you want to hear more from us each week. Comment down below. Tell me whose death was your favorite.
Oh.
Who did you like to see die?
Kotaro, he's only like 12.
Oh yeah, child death. Wonderful.
The child death.
I think I like the Don Armage death.
Which one?
Which one?
That was a
Anyways,
joke.
guys,
He's still not dead. God damn.
Oh man.
Wait, really? I wasn't really paying attention toward the end. Anyways, guys, thanks for listening. Keep it juicy.
Yeah.
Later.